Welcome back to another episode of Software Spotlight. Today I have a chat with Gurpreet from Spotlight Reporting. Really interesting chat. I advise that you stick around. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, please let us know down below.
Gurpreet, how are you?
I'm very well, Jordan. Yourself?
Not too bad. That's what we like to hear. How long have you been in the industry?
Good question. So in the accounting industry, I've been there for a whole 7 months. So yeah, it's been a relatively short tenure so far. So my background has always been within software, but predominantly in the recruitment side of things. So I went from media to software within the recruitment space, and then Spotlight was brought up to me, and they were doing some awesome things, and yeah, wanted to be part of the journey.
That's what we like to hear. I mean, I'm still relatively new to the fintech kind of space as well. So yeah, it's good to be chatting with someone else who's in a similar spot.
That's it. I mean, it's a great industry. I think
100%.
At DAS, and I just think in terms of the people, everyone's super friendly, super personable, and everyone's just super clever as well. So it's just one of those. Every day I'm being tested. My brain's going, woo. It's very good, very good.
100%. So what is it that you do at Spotlight? What does Spotlight provide for their customers?
So in terms of myself, so I'm one of the account managers here. In terms of Spotlight itself, it's a reporting and forecasting software. So what we do is we give businesses and accounting practices a powerful solution to create better business outcomes and more actionable insights. So the way we do that is, so we integrate with the likes of Xero, QuickBooks, Sage, to name a few, to generate these really insightful reports and forecasts for businesses. So whether that be on a monthly, quarterly basis, and so on. So yeah, it's an interesting company, interesting time for the industry as well at this stage. But I guess also what I want to lead up to is a bit of a background as well about Spotlight. Just I guess give a bit of a visual in terms of how we're at this place at the moment. So in terms of Spotlight itself, so we were founded back in 2010 by our CEO and CFO. So that was Richard Francis and Julie Francis, and they themselves were accountants. And they were going through quite a strange period whereby they were doing a lot of compliance work, but they're looking to move more into the advisory space. And they really couldn't find something on the market that was enabling them to do that in a less labor-intensive way. Because what they were, obviously, they had the accounting softwares, and then they were just in Excel sheets. And then what they wanted to do was standardize that across the board, but also have that customizability as well. And that's when Spotlight was born. So in terms of building those reports and forecasts, and we're in a really good place now. We're going from strength to strength, which I'm pleased to say, and we're working very much on a global scale. So we've got offices US. I'm based in the UK with my colleagues, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, and it's a great company, and we work with various different sizes of business as well, from your SMEs right up to the big four as well. But I know I've gone on a bit of a tangent then, but I thought it's just quite important to just know where we've come from as well.
Yeah, 100%.
And also what we're hoping to do or looking to do and are doing. And that, I guess, going back to one of the points that really attracted me to Spotlight as well, was it is such an interesting time for the industry in terms of where we're at. I find that it's a sector where it's going through the stages of becoming more digital. And I'm not saying it wasn't digital before, but it becoming more digital, a lot more software focused with the cloud-based accounting apps and everything like that. Because a lot of the people that I spoke to, they do still work in Excel quite a lot. And that's what really piqued my interest. I thought, hold on, there's a huge space that we can go after. And I don't know if you may have seen, Jordan, or anyone else that's watching this. We did a global advisory survey. So this is a couple of months ago, or 3 months ago. Don't quote me the specific time, but it wasn't too long ago. And we actually found that 40% of the firms that we asked, they said that between 10 and 30% of their revenue was coming from advisory, which you think, great, between 10 and 30% come from advisory. However, what they're expecting is around about 40% are expecting for that to change to anywhere between 50 and 70% of total revenue. So there's definitely a clear shift in mindset in terms of where these accounting practices are going. And that's great to be a part of. So, over the years, we've been doing some surveys and some analysis as well. And through us, we find that accountancy practices, their advisory fee growth is anywhere between 10 and 50% within the first 12 months of using Spotlight. So again, that's why I'm loving it here. And that's why, that's what we're looking to do for both businesses and accountancy practices, give more actionable insights and increase their advisory fees, but more importantly for businesses to have more actionable insights so they can grow as an organization as well.
Perfect. And just going back to, because you mentioned that the CEO and CFO, they founded the business based on, a real world experience. They've experienced this issue and they've gone to solve it. And I love stories like that.
Exactly. There must, I think it's also in terms of, really taking that step to do it. I mean, definitely out of my, I wouldn't that's for sure.
Perfect. So what would you say, or if you have one, what would you say is your favorite feature that Spotlight offer?
Favorite feature? That's a really good question.
Tough one.
It is, because the thing is, in terms of Spotlight, there are lots of things that happen, but in terms of favorite one that really sticks out to me is our tracked budgets and forecasts. So you're able to bring in tracking categories. So that could be departments, so individual departments within the business, or it could even be like projects that an organization's working on. So you can bring those individual tracked budgets as well as actuals into Spotlight. And what that means is you can really go into detail into those individual departments or individual projects that you're working on. So you can run a P&L specifically within that cost center that you're looking at. And the reason why I like that, you can then say, right, okay, what's the company objective that we're looking to achieve? Okay, what are we doing with this project or with this department to then help move towards that goal, towards that objective? And it just enables you to step in a bit quicker, particularly if you're doing that analysis on a more of a monthly or quarterly basis. You can step in a bit quicker and influence, again, that better business outcome. So I really like that feature. The other one as well, and this is I think this is the simplicity that I really like about it, is in our executive summary. It's super customizable, but there's a key bit that's called auto text. So when you're writing up the executive summary, you have your subheading revenue, for instance. We've got an auto text feature. If you click on auto text, there'll be a drop down, click on revenue, and then you'll have a selection where it will say this month versus last month, or you can choose this month versus this month last year. As soon as you click on it, it pulls in the figures and it pulls in the percentage differences as well. So you don't need to sit there and calculate everything. It just pulls those tags in into the exec summary. And that's another key one for me. It's just super easy. And the amount of time I've shown it and people are like, wow. I'm like, okay, that makes my life a lot easier. But and also ultimately theirs as well. Because again, I guess that's fueled from what Richard and Julie were thinking, where you're standardizing the reports a bit more, because then you can have your set templates, your set report. And once that new data just comes in for the following month, again, that executive summary where you've got the auto tags, that would just update automatically. So I guess more of a time saver in that aspect.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's efficient. That sounds brilliant. I mean, at 4.0, we're all about that kind of thing. But as well, as much as people like, they don't want to make errors, human error is inevitable. The more you automate and the more you're, automatically pulling these numbers in for the reports, the less chance there's going to be of any, misinterpretation of the data, misrepresentation of the data.
Exactly.
No, that's fantastic.
That's exactly, and also things like that you touch on in terms of that automation. It just makes it a lot more scalable as well. So you've got the efficiency, you can scale it across the or the practice as well, which is a real key factor.
Perfect. So are there any new features or updates on the way?
New features and updates, always, Jordan, always. So
that's what we like.
So I guess the way we work is, so like most organizations, we have our product roadmap that we have at the start of the year, but we are always adding to it throughout the year. So we take feedback very seriously. So in terms of when we're getting feedback from customers, we look to put that into our product roadmap. In terms of the ones that we're working on at the moment, they tend to be more, I guess, product improvements based on the feedback that we're getting. And also the types of details that you can go into our reporting. Now, there is a couple of larger updates that are happening, but at this stage, I'm not at liberty to say what that is, but it is a real case of watch this space. So yeah, there's something that we're developing at the moment, which is really cool.
Exciting.
And that's not me trying to be secretive, by the way. It's just not this stage.
Brilliant. So if a viewer would like to get started using Spotlight reporting, what would be their first or next call of action?
So there's a couple of ways in which they can do this. They can get in touch directly with me. So my email, gurpreet@spotlightreporting.com. I'm sure, Jordan, you'll be able to share the details anyway, I'm guessing. Or secondly, just head on to spotlightreporting.com. We offer a free 28-day trial, no obligation trial. It's plastered all over the site where it's a free trial. Sign up. Once you've signed up, myself or one of my colleagues will get in touch, and the next stage will be it's just a schedule a call to find out what you're exactly looking to get out of Spotlight reporting. So that's a key for us to find out what you want, and then we can run through the process of demos and everything like that. But yeah, we're on hand to support you guys. So yeah, sign up, get in touch, and we look forward to working with any of you that are listening at the moment.
Brilliant. So you all know what to do. Gurpreet, it's been brilliant chatting. Thank you for coming on.
Likewise.
So thank you for watching, and I shall see you on the next episode of Software Spotlight. See you later.